Hi everyone, I'm going to show you why it's super important that you think really hard about how you name the sections of your website on the top level navigation. All too often I see this developed as an afterthought, where naming is just a label for what you feel each section of your website contains. Whereas through the eyes of your customer, the words in your navigation menu help them to find what they need, and it should really attract them to some useful or interesting content on the site. Those leads are really valuable, so what you don't want to be doing is driving your audience away once you've won them over with an ad or a referral. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to some ways in which your audience will use your navigation, show you an example of great marketing navigation and evidence of how your website will lose effectiveness without that great navigation labeling. First off, let's think about how you judge whether a website is worth your time. Often you'll arrive on a specific landing page of a website that isn't the homepage. For example, a LinkedIn post sends you to a blog about 10 challenges for pharma marketeers, and you arrive at an agency article on their website. You're going to judge the agency on the content you immediately engage with. And if you're impressed, you're going to want to know what else this agency has to offer. Most of the time, the first thing you'll actually do is look at the navigation and decide where to go next. This is when you'll judge the quality of their website and by association, probably the business itself. If you think about it, you'll be surprised how often you use this technique to judge websites. Even if you go straight to the homepage and are presented with a clear value proposition right there from the get-go, you'll still want to have a look at that menu and judge whether your 5 minutes browsing session is best spent here or elsewhere. So let's take a look at a great example. So this is HubSpot's website. HubSpot sells CRM tools to marketeers and other business leaders to help them run their business, but mainly for marketing and sales. But what you've got here is a lot of information. When you land on the page, you can see your kind of call to action. And what you're probably not going to do here is start scrolling down and looking at information. What you're usually going to do, as I described in the introduction there, is you're going to have a look and see what they have. So you can look at the software they have. You've got a clear idea of navigation across the site. You can see the different products. I know they've got pricing, and then I can see resources. And I hover over here and I can see they've got education. So they've got a blog, they've got ebooks and guides, free courses and certifications about inbound methodology. I've got case studies, onboarding services, user resources, partner programs, developer tools, a community. So this is a really cool navigation. Judging by the menu, I'm going to say this is a great website and probably a great business. So I'm going to use the Brandcast Health website as a bad example, actually, and I'm going to show you a couple of things that you should notice here. The first is that we have a hamburger menu. Hamburger menu isn't always good. You'll notice you didn't have that on the HubSpot version. What you're going to see is it actually hides away things that might be interesting to people, and they may navigate away without ever clicking on this hamburger. So first off, you can see we've got an expansion of services. So you might see a service that you're particularly interested in, and I may miss out on a potential customer because they don't see that. And likewise, we have podcasts as well. This could be something that someone wants to click on and have a look at. So it's a really interesting point around hamburgers, and them not always being that great. You're sometimes better having everything there available so people can make that judgment without having to click on something else. Finally, I'm going to show you something really interesting right now. And this is a little heat map based on some of the analytics we did on the site recently. And you can see here where people click. Now, it's worth noting that the insights section of the website is really important to us. So it's pretty disappointing, right, to see that nobody clicks on this when they look at the navigation. And as I just said, people do use the navigation to judge the site and see if they're interested in anything. So this is just a great example of where if you name your navigation wrong, people simply won't click on it. Look, we've got a load of people going through to these areas of the sites, but nobody hardly, there's a little bit of blue there going to the insights section. So it's really, really interesting to see that. And it means if you do have an important section of the site, you really need to think about what you're going to name it. So if anyone does have any ideas about what we should really be calling insights, please do leave a comment or write to me and let me know what you think. If you're in pharma or biotech marketing or something like that, please do let us know. So I thought this was a really interesting thing to highlight, just to show if you do get the naming wrong, people won't visit the areas of the site that you want them to. So there we are. Navigation is super important, so please spend time thinking about how you organize it, display it, and name it. And please review your site analytics to see if people are behaving the way that you want them to. And if they aren't, you can easily change it. For more content like this, subscribe right now to the YouTube channel so you don't miss another video. Follow me on LinkedIn. My name's Dan Buckland, and you can search my name and my company, Brandcast Health, and you'll find me easily. Or check out brandcasthealth.com and subscribe to our newsletter. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate the support as always. Have a great day.